Hey, what's up guys, welcome back again, and in this video we are going to make a very interesting application. And basically in this application we will design one chat app. And because everyone knows about chat application, everyone wants to build one, so that is why I chose this topic to create an application which will be like any other chat application. So we will do the designing part in this video. So let's start with Flutter. So what I'm going to do, I have opened my Visual Studio Code. Here I will create a new Flutter project. So you can write here in the command palette of Visual Studio, Flutter new project, and here I can give it a name. So let's say Flutter chat app. Okay, and it will make a project for me. So I am going to give it a directory here, and so it will create a project for me here. And basically here is my project. So it has already ran some some commands in the background. So our project is ready. So let's open the main.dart, and right now it is building the project, I guess. So it will take some time. So yeah, it is running. So your Flutter project is ready. Connect a device and press F5 to start running. So we have this Flutter app already now. So what we need to do, we will start our simulator, and which will be the iPhone 10 simulator. And let's just resize the display here so that you can see the simulator as well as the coding portion. So here we are. So we have a good amount of screen. So we are in the main.dart. If you don't know about what it is, so you can check my other videos and you can see my Flutter tutorials. So here we are, and now let's press F5 here to run the code. So I guess it will work in the debug mode. Yeah, it will work in the debug mode. So I should start without debugging, but let's see how it will work. So it is running my project in the iPhone 10. So you can run it on Android as well. So there's no, there's no need to just download Xcode for this. So if you are on Windows, then you probably won't have the access to the Xcode. So you need to use Android emulator, or you can use your own device. So here you can see this project is working fine. So we don't want this project, we want a chat application. So let's just delete all the code, and here we are. So what we will do, we will write from the scratch. So let's create our main user interface. So first of all we will import package flutter slash material.dart. Okay, after that we need to call our main function, which is the entry point of our application. And here we can say run app, and here we will specify the app. So let's say it is new my app. Okay, and now we need to create this my app. Okay, so what it will do, so basically it will be a stateless widget first of all. So we don't need to do anything here. And here we will override a method, override, and which method, which will return widget, and the name of the method is build. And here I will pass the build context in the parameter of this method, and let's name it context. So here we are. Now we will return here the new material app. This is not new material app. This is how we write syntax in Dart. So new is basically to create a new instance of that particular class. So let's say new material app. So this material app widget provides you something, so that is why we are using it. And what something it provides is that you can specify here what kind of application you need. So we can say we want a title in the application. So let's say this is a chat app. We can specify here the home, let's say. So we can say the home is new, let's say homepage. Okay, and that's it. So we don't need, oh sorry, so we don't need anything else. Now we need to create this home page. So what we can do, we can create it here, or we can create another page and give reference to this page. So let's create another file, and let's say homepage.dart, and here I will import the package again, material.dart. And now let's create the what we can say, let's create our home page which extends stateless widget. Okay, that is cool. Now we need to override another, again the same method which we overrided earlier. So this is how we create widgets. So we will pass the same thing here, and now here we can return new scaffold, which provides a structure. If you check it, what it is like, it creates a visual scaffold for material design widget. So basically it provides a structure for you, which you can use to define app bar, floating action button, and etc etc. So let's have an app bar, new app bar. Okay, here we can specify the title for that app bar. So I can call title, and I will say new text, and let's name our app. So what title should be there, like it can be uh, frenzy chat. Okay, it is just a random name, you can give any. So we have our app bar ready. So now if I will just save it, so let's give a reference here to the home page. So I will import my home page as well. So let's click on it and import the library here, and now you can see it is running right quickly after just saving here. So here you can see that it is working on the emulator. We have the app bar ready. This is pretty cool, right? So what now we have to do, we have this app bar. Now let's do something with this. So basically I'm just running it on the iOS version or iOS simulator. You can try to run it in, Android one. And in iOS you can see the title is coming in the center of this app bar, but in Android you will notice something, that it will be coming on the left hand side. So basically what I mean is that Flutter is doing this for you, like it is adapting that particular UI according to that particular OS. So you don't have to worry about following that trend which the operating system is using. So this is what we have to do right now. So now we need a composer for, uh, we want to display a message. So for displaying the message, there should be an option to write the message also. So let's say, let's go back to our home page, and here we have to there should be something like body or home. What we got here, so it should be home. Oh, problem is with this, we are inside a bar. Let's go here, and now here we can specify the body. Okay, so no, right now let's not specify the body, or we can specify. So before that, let's do one thing. Let's make a body here. Oh sorry, again. And this body can have new chat screen maybe. Okay, so we are specifying a new chat screen to the body, and this chat screen is not yet ready. So let's create this chat screen as well. So let's make another page here. another file chat screen dot. Okay, so you don't have to create these screens again and again, but it's a better practice, so that is why I'm doing it. So I can write flutter material dot, the same thing which I'm doing from the last time. Now let's create this chat screen, and now this time it will be extending a stateful widget rather than a, what we can say, rather than a stateless widget. Okay, now we need to override create a state method. So create state, and it returns a state to us, so that is cool. Now we will write an anonymous function, and here we will declare the chat screen state class, and we need to now make this class. So let's make it, so let's say class chat screen state. Okay, extends. Now it also extends state, and here we will provide that chat screen. Okay, okay, that is fine. So we have done this part. So now what we need to do, we need to override the same method which we are overriding. This is we are overriding this for the third time, so this must be clear to you. So we will pass the context here as well. Oh shit. And let's, okay, so there is something missing. Yeah, the parameter is missing. So now we need to return something, right? Because this can't be blank, right? That is totally true. So what we can return here, we can have let's say we can have a widget which is, let's call it return new. Okay, and we can say it so before saying this something, let's not do it, let's create a widget first. So what we are going to create, we will create a widget. Okay, and we will name it build, we will name it text composer. Okay, widget text composer widget, let's say text composer widget. Okay, that looks cool. Okay, so now in this widget what we will return, we will return a container. Okay, we will return a container. Let's just make a semicolon here, and in this container let's have some margin from from left and right, because we are making a chat option where we can enter something in the text like you have seen in the WhatsApp. So that is what it is, in the bottom. So that's what we want to make. So let's say const as insects dot symmetric. Symmetric is used for either if you want to give a margin from let's say from left, or sorry, from horizontal or from vertical. So it provides you two options. So right now we are giving from horizontal, so let's give it 8.0. And here in the child, it should have a child. Here we will specify the text field which we want to make. So in the text field, we will ask the user to enter a message, right? So let's say decoration new input decoration, maybe, yeah, input decoration dot dot it should be dot collapsed. Collapsed means that it will occupy all this space. So let's see what it means. So defines an encoder that is same as the size of the default site, sets the is collapsed ordered true. Okay, so it will basically, what it will do, it will take the all the size of the screen, of the width basically. So here I will pass the hint text, and I can say here in the string that send a message. Okay, that looks cool. Yeah. Okay, I don't think we have to do anything else here. So let's just give a reference to this chat screen in the home page, so that this should not show this kind of red screen to us. So let's save it, and it's still, it is showing something. And here let's return new, and this text, oh sorry, this text composer widget, we can return it here. So let's just and you can see we have this text field send a message on the top here, and this is working fine for us. Now what we need to do, we will have a text controller maybe, yeah. So let's make a text controller for our text field, and or let's name it something like, you can say final text editing controller. Let's name it text controller, or whatever you want. So you don't have to specify the same names, but the class should be same. So we have this text editing controller. Now we can specify this text controller to our this text field. So I will say controller is our uh, text controller. Okay, so one more thing is that in Dart we don't specify public, private or protected, but by default all the fields are public. But in case if we want to make them private, then we can just specify this underscore before naming that variable, so that we can specify that it is a private field. So that is how we will do it. Now we have this controller ready. Now what I will do, let's say whenever we will get the message from the user, we need to submit it. Okay, so let's specify on submitted, and we will handle it by calling uh, handle submitted. Okay, so we will make this method. This is not yet defined, but on submit we will handle this submit. Okay, so we are ready with this. Now let's make this method here somewhere below this. So let's make void, okay, handle submitted. And one more thing, this method will receive a text, because whenever user will enter a text, then when he will click send, then it should return something, right? So it will return a string of the text which user will enter. And after that, whenever you send a message from WhatsApp, what happens is when you send that message, then the that text field is cleared by default. Okay, so what we will do, we will say text controller dot clear, so it will also clear the text field. So let's try this. Let's write it here something, and let's press enter, and it just cleared the message. So it is working good. Okay, enter, and it cleared. So this is what happens on WhatsApp. But rather than doing nothing, WhatsApp do something, and we can have that list of the message which we send. So this is fine. Now let's do one thing. um let's add something. What we can add here is, now we have this, but there should be a button or something which is used to send that particular message, and we don't have the button yet now. So let's just copy this child. Let's copy it, and yeah, this is how we will copy it. And now let's change the child to a row. Okay, where we can have multiple elements here. That is why we are making it a row. and this row, yeah, and this row will take a children, and we can specify children's here. So let's say first one is new flexible, which can basically flexible is used to cover the entire screen, not that collapsed. So sorry for that. Collapse takes the remaining screen, and this flexible takes the entire width, basically not the screen. So I can be wrong about it, but you can anytime check the documentation for this. So let's have this child here, and now we can paste the code which we deleted. And yeah, this is still the same, but now we have the option to uh, yeah, this is working, but now we have the option to add more items to it, because we have a row ready. So it is working. Now let's add an icon button, which will be like for the sending some message. So let's add here another container, new container. Okay, in the container let's specify, oh, let's do this. No, it's not working. Oh shit, we need to remove this from here, and here we can say new container, and in this container we will have the same margin, I guess. So let's say const as insects dot symmetric horizontal is like let's say 4.0, and now let's specify the child. So in the child we will have an icon button. Okay, icon button is used to specify an icon, and we can have this icon property. So let's specify new icon, and this Flutter provide us with some set of icons so that we can call icons dot, and here we can call this send, and that should be cool, and we are having this icon now. But it is not working because we need to have another thing, which is on pressed method, and right now this method will not do anything, but it can do something like it will call the handle submitted for us rather than so here we can say handle. Oh, this is not taking that handle submitted. It should take that, but let's see why it is not working. So we will say handle submitted. Okay, yeah, and we will pass the text controller dot text from here to the method. Okay, so now when we write here something, and if we press here, so it is not still, oh sorry, we are not able to press till now because yeah, because of this. Now let's press this, and you can see that this message is sent. But you also saw that this was grayed out, this icon was grayed out when we didn't implemented this on pressed. But when we implemented this on press, then this message then this send icon become black, not the gray. So that is how it treats, like if there is nothing to send, then it should be grayed, and whenever we will write something, then it should be black. So we will implement this also. So we have this chat UI uh, at least 20% I guess is ready. So let's do more with this. Now we have this one. So let's do one thing. What we will do, we will wrap this container to an icon theme, so that this is right now black, but it shouldn't be black. So that is why let's wrap it with a new widget, and that widget we can call uh, icon theme. Okay, icon theme. So what this icon theme will do, we can have a data here. Okay, so there is a data field, and we can specify new icon theme data. Okay, so we can specify some data here, we can specify a color here. So basically the color would be theme dot off, and we can pass the context here, and we can call the accent color. We don't have the context right now. I guess we should have that context of this class. So we are out of the widget, that is why we don't have any context here. So let's say we want the colors to be any color, right? We can say red accent. Okay, so let's just, oh, this looks so bad. Let's make it green, maybe. Yeah, so this is looking nice, better than the earlier one. So this is looking good. We have this green icon, but we can also access that particular, the whatever the theme of our application by calling the context from here. But right now we don't have the access to that context, so we can access that, but it will be a little tricky right now. So let's say, do we have access to the widget? And no, we don't have that access to the, so we are ready with this code, and now we can do something like, or let's make it blue because it will not be similar to the our primary color. So let's make it blue. It is looking much better. So now we have this thing ready. Now we have to move this to the bottom first of all. So let's do some operations with this and let's move it to the bottom. So for that, what we will do, we want to display a list of messages here, right? That is also correct. So what we will do, we will make another class behind this, and let's make another class outside because I don't want to clutter many things here. So let's make a class chat message, okay, dot. So here we will do the same thing, importing the Flutter package slash package and column Flutter slash material dot dart. Now let's make a class chat message, and which will extend our stateless widget. Again, stateless widget. Now let's override the same widget to build context, and here we can specify what we will do here. So in this class we will return a new container. Let's say return new container. Okay, so in this container what we will have, so this message, how the message looks, whenever you will send a message to a person, there will be a photo of you and the particular message on the right hand side. Okay, so we will make the same thing here. Let's give a margin first of all, and let's give it a symmetric margin, but this time from the vertical, and let's say it is 10.0. okay, that is cool. And after that let's have a child, and again we will implement the same row thing. Row is basically for giving a row, or you can say the width portion, so that we can have multiple elements in a single row. And we have already implemented it earlier, so you can take a reference from there. So this will accept a list of children. So before assigning that, let's also make that cross-axis alignment to cross-axis alignment dot start, so that starts from the top. So that is what we are doing. And now in the children, let's make another container maybe. Okay, in this container we will pass the that icon or that photo of the user. So let's give it a margin again. Oh, lot of margins from the right. Yeah, it should be from the right. So only is used to specify a particular position. So from right, let's give it a margin of 16. You can try with another margin, with some other margin, so that you get an idea what kind of margin gives what kind of result to you. So after margin, let's specify a child here. Now we don't have the user's image right now. We can either put a dummy image, or we can put a circle avatar. And what that circle avatar is like, there will be a circle, and the first credential of the name of the person will be written on that circle. So like it is P, and there would be a circle around it. So how we can do that? This is inbuilt in Flutter, so we can say new circle avatar. Okay, now we will pass here as a child. We can pass a image, or we can pass a child, or we can pass a text. Okay, this is totally our choice. We can pass anything. So let's say we want to pass the first credential of the name. Okay, first letter of the name, not credential, that is a bad word. So we want the first letter of the name, so we can say name, and its 0th index. But this name is not yet with us. Okay, we haven't defined this name, so let's define it. So we can say final, what we can say, we should have a name, right? We don't have a name, so let's make a name. Like what we can do, let's write const, and let's say it should be a name, so we can say string underscore name. Okay, and let's give it a name. So let's say my name is Pavan Kumar, so let's write Pavan. Okay, and it should work. Okay, so this is working. It is saying that only static field can be declared as const. Okay, so let's move it here. Will it work? Yeah, it is working. That is the beauty of Flutter. I don't know why it is working, but it is working. So we can have this name outside of the class, which makes it a global variable, but I don't know how it is working. So maybe in Flutter, in Dart it works. So this is correct. Now we have this circle avatar, and we are not yet ready with this. Now after that, we want something here. So we have this container now. Now outside this container, let's make a column, because we want to represent this. Let's say what we can do here is, let's have a column, and we can say, because there should be, the name of that person, and there would be a text of the user. So that is what I am trying to do here. So let's say cross axis alignment dot start. Okay, let me tell you one more thing about this cross axis and main axis alignment. What are they? So let's say if it is a row, okay, then its cross axis will be the vertical one. Okay, but if it is a column, then its cross axis will be the horizontal line. Okay, so what actually happens is, for a row, main axis alignment is horizontal, but cross is vertical. For a column, main axis alignment is vertical, and cross axis alignment is horizontal. So you have to remember this. Now there will be a children for this column also. So let's say first children is new text, where we will display the name of that particular person. So whenever you will send a message to anyone, so you basically specify uh, what we can say, a name to that message, and we can pass the context here. This time we have a context, and we can say dot text theme will it yeah, it is. After this we can say dot text theme, it should take it, dot subhead, I guess. Yeah, so what this is doing is basically assigning the name to the text, and it is doing some styling with the text, like this text theme dot subhead has some predefined font size and everything, so we can use it. Now below that, what we want, let's make another container here. Okay, it is showing some error. Why? Okay, oh, we haven't specified a comma here. So we will take another container. Here we will say a margin should be there, so let's say a margin. This time the margin would be from the top, because above above it is our name, so below that there should be any margin. So from top, let's say we have a margin of 5.0 maybe. Okay, and let's say now we have a child, which is a new text, and this text will consist the text. Okay, what is text? Whatever it will be written here. Okay, so that text will go on that particular message. So let's specify this text here. So we can say final string text. Okay, this is cool. Or we can also specify this text. So now this text we will receive from this input field. So we also need to have a constructor here which can receive that particular text. Okay, so we will write here this dot text. Okay, I have used this curly braces because this field is optional. So for optional fields we use curly braces. Okay, so if we want to use this text message to pass in the chat message constructor, so we can do that. So we are ready with this also, and now we need to implement this chat message. So we will do that also. Let's put a semicolon here. Okay, so this chat message is ready. The class with the chat message is ready, and this particular view is not seen to you right now because we haven't implemented this view in our widgets. So this is also a widget, but we need to integrate this widget to our existing application, which we haven't done yet. So let's move to the chat screen again, and in this chat screen state class, what I will do, I will make the list of messages, because there can be multiple messages, so we need a list. Okay, so let's say here we can say that I want a final a list of chat message, which we just made this class chat message class, and here I can say this will consist of messages, and let's make it an empty chat message list. So I can say like this is the syntax how we will. So now we will need to import this package. So now we are ready with the messages list, and this message list is empty, and this is how we declare the syntax for a list. So we are ready with this. Okay, now whenever let's go back to this method, let's give a space here. So whenever we will enter something from here, let's write something and enter by pressing this, then it will go to this method and it will clear this field, but it should add this message, this text to that particular list which we just declared. Okay, got my point? So whenever you will send, then the list will be updated with this message. Okay, so here we will write let's say chat message, and let's make a object of it, new chat message, and here this chat message accepts a text because we defined this text in the constructor. So here we can pass the above text which we are getting from this method. So this is fine. Now we will call the set state method. This method is used, you know why? This method is basically used to rebuild our widget, that we have done something in our method, in one of our method. Now we want to rebuild the widget because the data will be updated. So here we can say that I want to insert in this list messages dot insert, and what, at the index 0 this data. What data? This message. Okay, I want to insert it. Okay, so what I did, let me explain it again. Whenever you press this text or send button, then the text field will be clear, but we got this text, and now we made a object of this chat message class, and we pass this text to its one of its field, and then we are calling this set state method to rebuild our widget. That we have what it will rebuild, it will rebuild the lists which we will have and it will insert that message to this messages list. Okay, so it will be more clear when we will have that list. So after that we will need the that particular list we want, which we want to show, and then it will be much clearer to us. So let's go back to our this widget where we have this row and everything. So now we have this everything. Okay, so what we can do, we can we have this data. Now this data is needs to be there, but we need something else as well. So we need to implement this chat screen state. So before that, we let's go back to this home page, and here we define this new chat screen. Okay, this is what we had done earlier, but let's modify it a little bit, and rather than giving it this chat screen directly, let's make a list here. So let's say it is a column now. Okay, because what I want to do, I want to display the list from in the body first, and then at the bottom I will display that send text field. Okay, text field with the send button. So let's make a column, and I will say this column to have some children's. So first children would be, let's say, new flexible. Okay, new flexible, this looks cool. And here we will pass some data. So let's pass something like, wait a second. Okay, so in the flexible, we will have a list here in the child. So let's say new list view. So this is how we implement the list view. List view dot builder should be a method of it. Yeah, so we have this list view dot builder, and in the builder we can pass some properties, like we have this padding property, and we can have a padding from all the sides. Let's say 8.0 from all the sides. Okay, so we have this padding. Okay, and apart from that, we want this list to be reversed in opposite order, because the list will generate from the bottom of the screen. So whenever we place a message in that text, then the first list will be above that particular send button, or above that particular text field with the send button. So we can say reverse is equal to, or reverse property, we can set it to true. Okay, and then we will have an item builder. What it will do, it will take a build context and a index. Okay, so we can say integer index. Okay, and it should work. Okay, now we need that messages list here, and we can pass the index as well here. Okay, so this is what we need to do. So what else we can do here is, let's say we don't have access to this messages. Okay, that is the problem. And so we will come on to this. So we have this thing ready. Okay, we have this item builder which takes a build context, which we can define by just putting this underscore, which means that it is a build context, or we can specify a name here, that doesn't matter anything. And it takes an index as well, and we are passing the messages index here. So below that we can also specify the item count, and we can count the messages dot length. Okay, so we are still not able to access this messages in this class, because we have that class in the that particular class in somewhere else, maybe in the chat screen dot dart. So we don't know about it yet. So let's just do it. And we have our list view ready. Now after this we can have a divider, so that it looks good when dividing elements. And its height, it has a height property which we can set 1.0. And below that we want something else as well apart from this. and let's say we have this new container. Okay, and we can pass here the decoration to new box decoration. Okay, this box decoration, what it will do, it will give us a color, and we can say theme dot of context dot let's say card color. That is cool. And we can have a child here as well. So child would be a bird. Oh shit, it has some issue, I guess. Yeah, here. And here we have a child field where we can say our text composer widget. Okay, but we are missing some things here, which are, we don't have access to this text composer widget, we don't have access to this messages. So let's just do one thing, let's copy this. Okay, we have copied this, and let's just delete it. Okay, so we are again back with the body, and let's make it the earlier thing, which was new chat screen. Okay, it was earlier it was like this, but we did it here, so because this code was clean. So now let's move again to the chat screen. Here we have this new container here, new icon theme is there as well, and this text composer widget is we are calling here. So rather than calling here, what we can do, we can copy the entire code here. Okay, so let's copy it. Okay, so we have this new column, everything, etc, etc, and just let's press this, and here we are. Okay, so we have this access to this messages as well, because we have declared it here in the chat screen state, and we have access to this text composer widget as well, because we have also the same widget in the same class. So we didn't have to do anything, and we just replaced it here. Now if I will press Control S, you can see there is no list appearing because we have no items in the list, but we have this send a message here in the bottom. Because I'm using iOS simulator, that is why it is looking like there is no padding. But if you will use a normal screen, a normal Android screen, or any iPhone 8 or any other iPhone's screen, then it will look much better. So let's insert some text here, and now let's press this message icon. What happened? Yeah, you can see that there is a message, there is a name, there is an icon as well, and this is looking amazing. So let's insert some more text. Let's press enter. Oh, this is looking amazing, isn't it? So let's insert more and more and more. This is how it appears in WhatsApp or any other platform, right? So this is working perfectly fine. Okay, yeah, this is working, this is also working, and this is also working. But this is right now just a dummy one. And what else we can do with it is, like, we can insert a photo here. We can right now we have the name, which is Pawan, and it is the common name for everyone. So let's just enter another message here. So we have this thing here, but this is not yet complete because it needs some more things. We can animate it, we can have a real data here, so that it should look much there is no need of this application right now, because this is just a design portion of Frenzy Chat. And guys, let me just recap this all, so that it can be easily understood to you. So let's go back to main.dart. Here what we did, we made a new material app where we specify the title, which doesn't matter right now. And here in the home field, we called a home page. So we went to the home page. Here we have a scaffold structure, and here's a title, Frenzy Chat, which is appearing here. And below that we have this chat screen, which is looking cool. Okay, and this is basically this chat screen is a class. Let's go back to this chat screen. Here we have this stateful widget, and this is this has a class which is chat screen state, which extends the state. Here we have a text field controller, we have a list of some messages, and this message comes from this chat message class. The list is basically we make this list from this chat message. So basically all the list, we will have all the elements of this class, the chat message, and this chat message has some property like it has a text, okay, and it gives us a widget which is containing of a circle avatar, and we have name and text. So we are passing this chat message through here. We have this handle submitted method, we have this text composer widget, and we have this list view as well. So this is the designing part of this Flutter application, which is a chat application. We can implement the whole chat using Firebase backend on any other backend, and we can make it live also. But you just have to tell me if you want that, then I will make a tutorial on that. So I want a support from you. I want at least 50 likes in this on this video so that I can think about that. And if you really like this video, then you should press that like button and you should subscribe the channel. If you don't like the video, you can dislike the video as well. And one more thing, the source code for this application will be uploaded to GitHub, and I have put the description or the link in the description, so you can find the link in the description of that GitHub repo where you can find this code. So you can just look at that code if you find yourself stuck somewhere while creating this UI. So that is all about this video, and I hope that you are enjoying my Flutter videos. And you can also check my full stack web developer course where you can learn about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, and Django as a web development backend framework. So that is all, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, take care.